And then when we're ready, we'll go ahead and jump on in.
Did you already drop food or is it inside?
I'm going to put it inside.
Roger.
Dodger. All right, so I'm going to do like explanations of the big mechanics, like the really important ones, and then we're just going to try and get in more pulls than we do like with me explaining stuff. That way we can get more time actually fighting the boss versus me talking. All right, so don't follow me down just yet.
I'm gonna pre-trap if
Yeah.
that's alright.
Yeah, that's fine.
Although they nerfed it. Sad day.
Yeah. So, while Zorn is pre-trapping, I don't know why I charge my mantras because I'm going to do the same here in a second. So, basically, I'm just jumping down here to show you some positioning. So, basically, main differences here are the islands. They will have elite tier ads instead of veteran ones. That will be, they will have CC, and they'll try and knock you off the island. So, basically, when we're going around the islands, make sure to have your back towards the wall and keep yourself positioned between the anomaly and the wall. And that's going to be on islands 2, 3, and 4. So we just want to make sure that we are not standing too close to the edge, because if we fall off the edge from a CC or whatever, even if we have our Mistlock, it's going to instantly kill us from full health to dead. No downstate or anything, no second chance. If you fall, you're dead. The other main difference is during 33%, we want to stack very like in the center of this thick blue line, like where I'm currently stacked. We're going to be coming back from this 4th island right here, and we are going to want to stack right here in the center of this thick blue line. It doesn't necessarily matter where, on what side. You just want to make sure that you are stacked not on the center. And even though I explain this, I see this happen all the time. You don't want to be stacked on the center of the boss, because two things are going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is you are going to be standing on top of his hitbox, which has like a giant toxic trail at his feet that does an insane amount of damage. That's almost impossible to heal through. So you want to make sure that you are not standing on his hitbox. The other thing that's going to be happening, and this is why we want to stay stacked, is he's going to be doing a whole bunch of AoEs in a counterclockwise motion. He's not going to be like running in a counterclockwise motion, but he's going to be rotating in the center in a counterclockwise motion, shooting out AoEs in a line kind of like I am right now, except much faster. And these lines are going to knock you back and do a lot of damage. So the way that we remedy avoiding both of those things is 1, standing at max melee distance, and 2, staying stacked and not varying our positioning too much. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of CC and there's going to be a lot of damage. And so the way that we're going to alleviate that is we're going to stack right here. We're going to provide stability, and we're also going to provide heals to outdo the damage. So this is a very... stacking idly right here is very important. That basically it's going to be a huge responsibility for your support to heal you through. And then pretty much this is just going to be a DPS golem for this phase. Now, since you guys are both running thieves, I know that bounding dodger is a part of your rotation. So instead of dodging through the hitbox and back through the hitbox, I want you guys to kind of like pay attention to where I'm at right now. I'm in the center right here. We're going to stack right here. So if you like do your rotation like this, you're doing your auto attacks, you kind of go to the right, you dodge across, and then you do your auto attacks, you do whatever you got to do, and you dodge to the left. I said right earlier, I meant dodge to the left. You're going to move right, dodge left, move right, dodge left. That way, instead of dodging through the boss, you're actually dodging across the group, and you will be in range of all the buffs and the heals the whole entire time that you're fighting this encounter.
All right. Roger.
All right, so I'm going to GG, and I'm going to spawn some food here in a moment. There's food for you guys. And then let me see if I can spawn some food down here for myself real quick. Actually, one sec. Okay. And then I'm going to stack some boons, and then we are going to go. Oh, man. Didn't go off. It's kind of lame. All right, here we go. Nice. Good job, guys. Just try and stay stacked. We're doing okay in this position right here. And we're going to have our first phase. So on these islands, you see that there is going to be like roads put on the ground, and that is going to be dropped by 0. So these roads, try and stand in them because they apply stability. It's basically just a giant rectangle on the ground that will prevent all the CC that you take. So try and stand in those. Alright, and then we're going to CC. This attack, you want to dodge it now, because it will apply a lot of burning if you get hit by everything. Even if you get hit once, it does a lot of burning. Alright, we got phase in 2%, 1%, and let's rotate. Alright, so remember that we want to stack tight when we get back down from the island. Our DPS is good though, so we're not struggling, and we're not struggling with stacking at all. We're doing really good. This is going very smooth. Awesome. Alright. Last island. Alright, we're going to go back down. Remember, stack in the center of this thick blue ring. So you can see how he's rampaging. All these lines are knockback damage. Don't have to worry about dodging the solar blooms because we are given stability through that as well. Nicely done. So now we're going to start moving a little bit. So get out of the laser and keep your back towards him. And then we're going to just DPS on him. So move over to him. Very nicely done, guys. So I know that was a lot.
Peanut butter.
Not
chunky
peanut butter. Oh.
I mean, I guess I gotta be specific.
Yeah. Yeah, because peanut butter chunky is not smooth. It's bumpy. Yes. True, true. That was very clean though, I will say. Also, how is the quality of the stream? Like, is it viewable? I know it probably gets blurry when like stuff gets crazy, but last time I streamed this, when I got to Arc, dude, it just got like totally unviewable. So I wanted to make sure it's not like looking like that at all. Okay, cool. If it gets crappy at any point, just let me know, please, please. And I'll try and fix what I can on this end. Alright, so this part is just going to be the same as it is in normal mode. Nothing special here.
Don't stand in the fire.
Exactly. Alright, so during the boss, this is where the like the bouncing ball thing happens, and we'll have to allocate someone to bounce the ball. So Zoran sent now normally the ball bouncing responsibility is going to go to the lacquer gate, and then backup will go to banners in the current meta. So we have Zero that can main orbs, but Zoran, since you have a couple kills under your belt, I'm gonna put you on backup.
Alrighty.
Are you familiar with the bounce rotation at all, or have you bounced at all in like normal mode?
Yeah, in normals.
Okay. Also, yeah, sorry, I just kind of did that jump as like a out of habit. So Gloom, what you'll do is on that rock right behind you. You're gonna here 1 sec. I'm gonna help these guys finish real quick, and then I'll come down there, and I'll show.
I got it.
Oh, awesome. So follow Cal.
Ah! Cool down. Cool down.
All right, here we go. So I'm gonna be back here, and I'm just gonna show you the quick little skip for it. All right, so what a lot of groups will do nowadays is they will go right up here on this rock, and then basically you want to jump towards the final island, and at the peak of your jump, just max distance your Nova launch, and then you will end up Nova launching right over to the island, and then you can skip killing all those guys.
Didn't work.
So do you have your in your settings, do you have your max what is it called? Under combat and movement, it is the third checkbox.
Okay. Ooh,
It's lock ground target at maximum skill range. Do you have that checked?
No, I don't.
I would check that. That makes quickly Nova launching and like quickly doing anything. Like AoE wise, it makes it super nice. Like especially on Thief. Like if you're doing travel with like Shortbow 5, you can basically just have your cursor all the way up in the air.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, because you can end up getting your Nova launch to target like right here in the center of the platform, which is really nice. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right. So Artsariv, Zoran, I don't know if last time you ran this, if you brought a wall of reflection.
you did have me do that.
Yeah. Okay. So since you did that last time, you don't have to do that this time. That's fine. So, because I can handle that actually.
Flex unlock.
Okay. So this fight, quick rundown. Main thing. Quick thing is the boss will attack throughout the fight. So the boss is going to be doing a lot of projectile attacks and some like a ground slam and some stuff like that. Here, a quick second. Okay. So the boss is going to attack, and then when the boss attacks, there's going to be two reflectable AoEs or reflectable attacks, which I'm going to actually handle here. And then there's going to be some. There's going to be a ground slam, and then there's going to be one line of red orbs that is unblockable. You can jump over it, or you can just eat the damage. Try and avoid it if you can, or dodge it. Dodging it's fine, because it can do a lot of damage because it's a lot of like unblockable stuff. So it does eat you alive, especially when we have frailty, because like for instance, I only have 8k health. So that's going to do a lot of damage to me personally. So try and dodge that if you can. But the ground slam is going to CC you, so you can try and dodge that. We'll probably have some stability. Okay, awesome. Sorry, we had another trainer DC, so I'm just trying to make sure everything's going okay. But try and dodge that because that can do a lot of damage. And also just kind of to get familiar with that attack in case your group is struggling with damage, like healing and stability. The other thing is... that's all the attacks. So the reflectables, your support will typically handle that. And then typically if you have guardians, they will bring like a wall of reflection, or a ranger can bring axe 5 because that's going to be part of their rotation anyway if they're power, so on and so forth. But aside from that, like a big difference that we're going to see right away is right on the boss right now, there's going to be an anomaly that spawns at the beginning. And that anomaly needs to be killed in order to spawn the safety dome for whoever gets skulled during the fight. So skull mechanic is the same from normal mode. If you get skulled, go to the dome, and that prevents everyone from dying. But we need to make sure that we kill the anomaly in order to have a safety dome. If we don't have a safety dome, then everyone dies. But that's never really an issue. I never really run into that being an issue. So... you just got to make sure that we stack back at the center at the beginning of every phase. So that's going to be the beginning of the fight, as well as after the CC phases at 66 and 33%. And then the last change here is at the CC phases, there's just going to be more illusions. So there's going to be 5 to CC during the 66% phase, and there's going to be 9 to CC during the 33% phase. And during that 33% phase, the ones on the flat sides of the platform, the north, south, east, and west sides, they're going to be shooting out this like bouncing marble right here. They're just going to be throwing out a random one, and it's only going to hit the ground once, and then it's going to go away. So we need to make sure that we bounce that in order to not get knocked down and take a whole bunch of Condi damage. So if that AoE is near you, just make sure it bounces on you, and then you can go back to normal. Other than that, Zero is going to be main bouncing the orbs, and then Zoran, you are going to be back up. So get familiar with where Zero is on your party panel, and keep an eye on his buff bar. If you see that like red icon that looks like an explosion kind of thing, that targeted AoE, if you see that just at the beginning of every single phase, like right when we finish the CC phases and we dodge all those one-shot stuff, and we're killing the anomaly, when someone gets targeted, just make sure you're familiar with like where his buff bar is and look at it right away to make sure he doesn't get targeted. If he does, then just go and assume ball bouncing duty, and then when he's done with the dome, he'll pick back up, and then you can get back to the boss.
All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Sounds
Sweet. So I'm going to stack some boons. And then when we go down there, just make sure you run all the way to the far side of the boss, because when we start the boss, she's going to put down some one-shot lasers, and we're going to try and bait those away from these two guys because they're going to become attackable. So stack right here, and I'm going to start the fight. And then get ready to Nova Launch to the target here in a moment. And Nova Launch now. And then just kill these guys in the meantime while we're waiting for the anomaly to spawn. Anomaly's up. Let's kill the anomaly. Alright, Scold, stay at the dome. Everyone else go to the boss and CC. More CC. Nice. And then just DPS. And then we're going to have phase in 2, 1, now. And then we're just going to split up and do our CCs. Dude, you know it. You know it. This is the party. This is the party zone. How's it going, man? How you guys doing? Alright, last illusion. Alright, then we're going to stack tight here in the center. Stack some boons. And then she's going to do a lot of one-shots. We're going to dodge this. And then we're going to sidestep all these other one-shots. Stand out of the laser. Very nice. And then the anomaly is going to spawn. So someone's going to get targeted for the skull here in a moment. Alright, so that is not 0. So you're good, Zoran. So everyone stack on the boss. And then everything is easy peasy at the moment. And then get ready for CC. And CC now. Nice. And then we're going to DPS 3, 2, 1, and phase. Alright, so remember when you see a white circle on the ground at any point, you need to make sure that it bounces on you, like right here. We're going to let this bounce on us. And then we can continue on. That's all we got to do. That's the only extra responsibility here. Nicely done there, guys. Nicely done. Way to look out. Dude, I really need to get some consumables. Alright, back to the center. Stacking some boons. We're going to dodge all the one-shot stuff. Dodge now. Then sidestep all these other things. Very nice. And then we're going to res here. Res hard. Alright, quick res. Quick res. Alright, back up. Zoran, go. Alright, and then everyone to the boss. Oh, wrong spot, Zoran.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the catchy part. Alright, so that's okay, though. That is okay. Alright, everyone to the boss. Oh, crap. Alright, let's actually GG and reset this.
Alright.
So,
Sorry, the pattern's different.
yes, it is. It is. And I'm glad that we actually experienced that. Because that is the one specific rotation that trips up everyone that bounces orbs. So you just got to be careful not to mix up those bounce locations because it looks like it's going to bounce into the center, but it actually bounces far first and then it comes back to the center.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome.
Nova launch gets automatically cooldowned when you hit a bound.
Yeah.
So you can hop.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing that's cool is if you get skull and then the skull detonates in the dome, it also resets Nova launch. So you can Nova launch to the dome if you're skulled, and then you can Nova launch back to the boss when you're done, which is really cool. Oh, shucks. Just checking me out. Looking all special tonight, huh? Cool. We're all set. And then stack far side. I'm going to start this right away.
Oh crap.
Oh, hold on.
Be there in a sec. It's cool.
All right, starting now.
My hotkey for Nova launch, and so it's all.
I gotcha. It's all good. All right, Nova launch to this sucker. All right, then Arts Reeve, mini one, and then Anomaly in the center, and then boss. Let's get our CCs going.
That's all on me.
All right. Yeah, honestly, nice CC, guys. Honestly, yeah, like a lot of the things in the game, like the arrows for the white circle, I didn't notice that for a while either. It's so subtle, it's easy to miss. Nice, and then we're going to CC. All right, and then we got that last illusion. And back to the center. Nicely done. Sidestep this stuff. Now, a note is whenever you see the purple from the AoE, it's safe to stand in. The only thing that's dangerous is the actual detonation. Alright, everyone go to the boss, unless you're Scold, which is like me. Alright, get ready for CC, guys. And CC now. Nice CC. Awesome. Good phase, guys. Oh, I might actually have to leave you because you're in the purple.
I can survive.
But that's okay because even if you do die, then
I'll get rest.
yeah, because the determination buff.
Hey, my body's gonna bounce this ball.
Attaboy.
Hey.
Even
I'm
in
not
death. Even in death. Alright, we got this last illusion. And then we're going to stack quickly in the center. Get the nice boofs. Alright, and then sidestep. And then back to the center again.
Back up.
Alright, and then Zoran,
Got it.
you're on. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go ahead and get. Oh, jeez. I just got friggin' one shot from that. I didn't realize I was that close to death. Nicely done, guys. CC.
Pay no attention to the jar on the ground.
Alright. Got 15%. Alright, we're going to swap corners. Alright. Back to the boss. Bouncing happens. Ooh, jeez. I went right into those. Nice res, guys. Thank you, thank you. Alright, need a backup if we can. If one of you guys can try and bounce the balls real quick. Or never mind. Keep going. Ugh. Oh man, we're at 1%. And actually, nice. That was a very interesting way of finishing it. But I think we have...
Had a clutch, but it worked.
Yes.
That's,
we
brought me all
only
the way
do
back
clean
here. Damn
pulls.
it.
Only do clean pulls. That's all we do here.
That was a little close for comfort.
I should have just let the res happen.
Mm-mm. That's what you get for rezzing early, Zoran. How dare you?
True dat.
So do we have any questions on the first two bosses?
Not really.
Okay.
Just gonna take practice. That's all.
Yeah. I know. Super, super clean. Unscathed.
Greedy chest.
All right. Let's see. Pretty sure I DC'd, didn't I? Yes, I did. Isn't that fun? That's great.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Slayon. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
Alright, I'm gonna grab some drink.
Alrighty. Sounds splendid. Okay.
I'm back.
Well, welcome back, sir.
Hi, back. How are you?
Hi, back. I'm Dad.
Hello, Dad. I'm in jail. Hello, Dad.
So we actually have two brand new people in the group, and then Zoran is like low KP. He has 4 KP. So, and actually one of the new folks is actually someone who joined like 5 minutes, like joined the guild 5 minutes beforehand. So that's really cool. So I'm glad we could get him in. And I think the other groups have, let me see, we had 3 groups tonight. Another group had 2 newer people, and then our third group was like low KP to like mid experience. So that one's kind of just like a practice run more so. So I think in total between all groups we have about 4 new people tonight. So that's really nice. All right, so for this fight, we can actually go ahead and put on the Scarlet Army potion if you have that on you. If you don't, just let me know and I'll mail you one real quick. Let me see. For this fight, hold on real quick. Oops. So for this fight, we have two main mechanics that we need to worry about throughout the whole entire fight. Zero, how are you with anomalies on Renegade? Do you do that normally?
I'm better at it now.
Okay. So I'm gonna put you on anomaly duty, and then Zoran, I'm gonna put you on like backup anomaly duty. If for some reason, like if Zero ends up going down or anything like that, then I'll need you to go and handle and kill the anomaly.
You got it.
So the anomaly explanation, we'll go with that first. So there's going to be 2 things here that we have to just go into before we do this fight, and that's anomalies and that's red orbs. So the anomaly has 3 things that's going to happen. The anomaly is the same thing from the last fight where it's like where it spawns in the center of the arena, it spawns the dome when it's killed, etc. Except now it's going to be randomly placed, and we just send one person to kill it instead of all of us going to kill it. So on top of the anomaly spawning, there's going to be one person that gets skulled, of course, and then after the person gets skulled, there's going to be someone that gets a green circle at their feet. What that green circle indicates is you need one person to stand in that green circle to absorb damage to prevent everyone taking fatal damage, and that amount of damage is like 80 or 90% of your health. So if you have a green circle, you need to find someone to stand in it to absorb the damage for the whole party. That way we don't all die.
So
And so-
basically, pair up.
Exactly. Find someone to pair up with, because that green circle is going to be at your feet. Now, that's how it functions. Now there's an ideal way to handle that. So 3 people stay on the boss. 1 person goes to kill the anomaly, who is going to be Zero, and then the skulled person's also going to go to the dome anyway. So there's going to be 3 people on the boss at all times, and that should be the person who's green and the 2 remaining people who do not have anything else to do, which would just like no other mechanics to handle.
Okay, so green circle is with the party on the boss.
Correct. Yeah. So you should always have someone in that green circle.
All right.
There is one before I tell you the exception. Does that all make sense? Like skull go to
Yeah,
the dome and all that stuff?
Can you get skulled and have the green circle at the same time?
No, it's either one or the other. You can't have both at the same time.
That's convenient.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is possible for whoever is responsible for the anomalies is like that they can get the green circle. So it's up to their discretion whether they come back to the boss or they stay at the dome. But either way, leave that responsibility to them. Don't split from the boss to handle it unless it's like you know for a fact they're not going to get anyone in that green circle. So that to say, Having a brain fart right now. The exception. So there is that solar bloom phase that happens where we have to like knock those blooms into the sides or into the corners and all that stuff. So during that phase, no one's going to be at the boss. So if you are green, never go to the boss because no one's going to be there. The reason why you go to the boss during the DPS phase is because people are already going to be there. So it's just guaranteed that you have 2 chances because 2 people are there to get someone in your green circle because there's nothing else to do other than DPS the boss. But during the split phase, the boss is invulnerable and everyone's doing another mechanic, which is if you're not responsible for killing that anomaly, then you're responsible for getting the bloom into the corner. So if you're green, find someone who is handling an anomaly or find someone else. You'll have to look where people are. You'll have to get your get a view of the whole arena and just Nova launch onto someone. So that's the one time you don't go to the boss and you have to find someone else. And that to say, if the bloom in the anomaly phase happens, you want to prioritize the anomaly mechanics first because they all those mechanics happen in about half the time that the bloom mechanics happen. So like for the sake of numbers, it's not these exact numbers. Like bloom phase could be going on for 10 seconds. The anomaly phase happens in a span of 5. So we want to make sure that we handle those anomaly mechanics first. The other mechanic, before I move on to that, does that all make sense? I know that was like a huge overload of information.
Yeah. For the bloom phase, we're gonna be going clockwise. Do we have a specific order or?
Yeah, clockwise. So just in general, anytime you're doing like end game stuff where there's rotation, general rule of thumb is just rotate clockwise if you have to rotate, unless otherwise mentioned. Because we'll also have to do that in 99 CM, and we're gonna have to rotate at some point for one of the bosses, and it's gonna be clockwise as well. So the other thing is the red orb mechanic. So the red orb mechanic is going to happen at like half it's going to spawn, like the anomaly mechanic is going to happen like every 15, 20 seconds, or whatever that is. And then the red orb mechanic is going to be happening at twice that pace. So it's going to be happening at like every 7 to 8 seconds. So the red orb is going to be like a charging red orb above Ark's head, and then it's going to disappear, and then he's going to shoot out a red orb at all of us. And if that red orb hits us, it's going to spawn a puddle at our feet that does an insane amount of damage. So what we need to do is I'm going to pretend that Cal is Ark. He's charging the red orb. It disappears. I Nova launch right onto Ark's hitbox, and then it absorbs the red orb, and we spawn no puddles. And so that's kind of just the cut and dry of that mechanic. So I'm not going to boon stack. I want us to just experience these 2 main mechanics because they happen right at the beginning. So I want us to get a visual of them before we actually do a full pool. So I'm going to zone us in, and then the anomaly is going to spawn right away. So we're going to handle the anomaly mechanic. And don't worry about like DPSing the boss. Just keep your weapon stowed unless you're like killing the anomaly. So for the sake of the anomaly, I'm just going to give some might real quick. That way we can down it in normal time. All right, here we go. Everyone stay stacked on the boss. The anomaly is up, so Zero's going to go to the anomaly. Someone's going to get a green. Green, stay on the boss. Skull, you're going to go to the dome. Nice, and then just hang tight. He's going to do the red orb here in a moment. This is the red orb. Look above his head. It's going to disappear. Nova launch now. And you see how right here, this Nova launch was just a hair late and it spawned this field. So watch when I step in this field. I just took 9,000. Actually, I don't know if that was from the field or if that was from the actual missing the eye mechanic. But these fields pulse like with this amount of damage. It pulses like 3, or these instabilities, it pulses like 3 or 4k health at a time. And we can spawn one of those fields per person should we miss those. So that amount of damage times 5, all stacked on top of each other, is deadly. So let's go ahead and GG. So we got a visual of the mechanics. How was that? Did that all kind of make sense, or did it happen too quick and you guys want to try it one more time, or did you guys want to do a pool?
I'm Gucci.
You're Gucci.
I'm digesting, but let's try a real pool.
Let's do it. So that very first one, that very first anomaly is going to be the most difficult anomaly because someone's going to get that cone AoE that follows. And so, which I think, Genesis, I think you were the one that had it. And then you were also Scold if that's correct. So that's probably the most difficult situation to deal with. So, you handled it just fine though. So if that happens again, just handle it like that. Here we go. Going to stack some boons. Also, don't forget to use that Scarlet Army potion if you have it. And here we go. All right, Anomaly's up. All right, so Genesis, you are Scold, so you're going to go to the dome. Nicely done. Back to the boss. And now it's just a little DPS. We have the red orb. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. Nice. Okay, so another thing that I forgot about. Third auto attack in the staff chain for Thief is a reflect. So you can also reflect the orb back in Ark's face if you time that correctly. It's a very small window though, so unless you're comfortable with it, I don't recommend it. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. That was pretty early, guys, so just delay your Nova launches by a hair and that'll be fine. So during this phase, the anomaly's up, so we're going to prioritize the anomaly. If you're green, find someone. Skull, go to the dome now. Go to the dome now. Very nice. I'm going to move that there. Okay, nice. All right, so during that phase, let's CC. During that phase, Zero is going to be responsible for the anomalies, so the rest of us, the other 4 of us, are going to be responsible for getting a side. So just make sure that if the anomaly is not spawned yet, the 4 of us are on a side to get control of an anomaly, or not an anomaly, a solar bloom, and then Zero can kill the anomaly when it spawns. All right, green is on boss. Skull is going to the dome. Dodge now. Not dodge. Reflect. My bad. Okay, back to the boss quick. Doing solid work. Get ready for a Nova launch. Now. There we go. So we missed 1 that time, but that was much better timing. Much better timing. Turn away. Alright, Anomaly's going to spawn. Anomaly's up at south. Green, come to the boss. Come to the boss, Green. Come to the boss. Alright. So, turn away. So, Crow, you actually had green circle. The pop-up message on your screen looks the same as the skull, but just pay attention to whether you get the skull above your head or the skull or the green at your feet. Also, be really careful with where you're taking the bloom. You got to be careful that you notice what side it comes from because you always need to rotate to the right. Otherwise, it'll just throw the balance off for the rest. CC, guys? Very good.
Anomaly.
Nice. Now we're just going to stack and burn. Dodge now, out of the laser. Very good. Dodge again. Alright, we're going to Nova launch onto the boss here in a moment. Nova launch now. Very good. That prevents his whirlwind attack when his CC bar is up. And then we are going to have the platform start disappearing now. So, Skull is going to happen. Red Orb is going to happen now, so get ready for Nova launch in a moment. Now. Alright, get that res quick. Nice, quick to the boss, quick to the boss. Alright, get ready to Nova launch. Now. Alright, so let's actually GG.
Oh.
That was a very solid pull. Very solid pull. So, what? We got to almost 30%. That 40 to 30% interval is the toughest part of the fight. And we almost got through that, so that was really solid. By the way, for those watching, is the stream quality still good? Like, is it too blurry to like make out my name, or like is like my face too blurry? Because last time I streamed, it was like super blurry, so I just want to make sure it's not like that because I changed some settings. So it's good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How's it going, Ablo? Let's see. So, advice on this from what I saw on this pool. So, like I was mentioning mid-fight, Crow, just be very careful with the screen or with the mechanic that you actually have. So you did have a mechanic. You had the green circle, but not the skull, but you went to the dome. So just be very careful. The best spot for you to go is actually on the boss.
Yeah, I just got mixed up.
The other thing is when you had the solar bloom, you took it from this corner, or like it came from this side, so you would have to go to this corner right here, but you actually ended up coming this way.
Okay. I actually didn't realize that I had a solar bloom tagged to me.
Gotcha.
That was the problem.
So
I thought somebody else was doing it because I had the something going.
Gotcha. Hey, thanks for the follow, Ablo. Awesome, and thank you guys for keeping it in check. So I'm just going to give actually, if you guys can Nova launch down here with me, I just want to do a quick explanation of like ideal for the solar bloom. So let's get into position. So 0, stand right here, and then the 4 of us go directly north, south, east, or west. Perfect. And then step back a little bit, Crow. Make sure, yeah. So where we're currently at, you can see how there are these, like the panels that we're standing on. There's like this square, this square, this square, this square. There's a 4x4 grid that we're standing on that is outlined by these side panels. These side panels become covered in electricity that will do a lot of unblockable and unavoidable damage. So ideally, during the 80, 50, and 30% phase with the blooms, this is going to be the ideal split. So it doesn't matter like what side we actually go to. Like if I'm north and Crow you're south or whatever, ideally this is how we want to do. The person that's responsible for the anomaly is just going to be chilling in the center, and then the other 4 are going to handle the 4 blooms. And the reason why you want to be right here in the center is because this is the absolute closest point you can be to the bloom when it spawns without standing in the electric field. And the way that the blooms function is after they spawn, about a second after they spawn, they are going to latch on to whoever is the closest. And multiple blooms can latch on to one person. So, for instance, if I'm all the way here at Gloom and then 0 is like chilling right here, then that means Genesis is going to get the eastern bloom as well as the southern bloom because he is the closest to both of them. So we want to split evenly like this. And so what this allows us to do is the bloom will spawn, we'll let it attach to us with that little electric beam, we'll Nova launch to our corner, then the bloom is going to, like after a small delay, it's going to move right onto our hitbox. And then once it moves onto our hitbox, we'll dodge behind it and we're going to auto attack it and it's going to go straight into the pillar. So ideally, the bloom phase should take all of 5 seconds. Now, since you guys are running Thief, Bounding Dodger hits on dodge, so actually you have one less step to worry about. So basically, you don't have to do that auto attack to hit the bloom into the corner. All you got to do is let it attach, go to your corner, let it come to you, dodge behind it, and then your Bounding Dodger will hit it into the corner. And you want to make sure that you dodge behind it though, like directly behind it. That way, like if you were to draw a straight line between you and the pillar, that bloom is directly on that line because wherever the bloom is on like your forward side, wherever you hit it, that's where it's going to go. So if you hit it from the side, it's going to go, like if you hit it from the left, it's going to go to the right. If you hit it from the right, it's going to go to the left. If you hit it from the back, it's going to go to the front. So you want to make sure.
When we know
When you
tower is sitting on, or stay back.
say,
Want to Nova launch to like here or to more like here?
No. So you actually want to, that's counterclockwise. So you want to make sure that so I'm in your position right now.
I just picked one.
Oh, okay. So you want an Nova launch right here, perfectly on this corner. And then once, like, so I'm gonna mimic your bloom. So you stand right here. All right, poof, I spawned, and then I attached to you. So then what do you do? And then here I am, I'm coming over to you, and then what do you do? Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. And then, so that's exactly how it happens. So that's so if we handle that all at the same time, if we do that all simultaneously, the bloom phase should take about 5 seconds tops, and it'll just make it super clean. So let's go ahead and GG, and we will give this another pull. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
All right. Green is going to be coming to the boss. Skull, go to the dome. Oh, no. Let's GG. So you left the dome too early. So there is a slight delay between the green circle detonation as well as the skull detonation. It's about a second. So the green will go off a second before the skull.
Didn't actually even see the dome. I couldn't find.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
it's my graphic settings. I don't know.
Sometimes it might just glitch out because there's like a lot of visual clutter. It's like it's very intense. Like when I stream, if I don't have I streamed it the other day, it like my stream would be clear, but then as soon as I'm doing this, it just makes it a blur fest. Like there's just so much visual stuff going on, so it might just have a hard time rendering. But yeah, did you see where the anomaly spawned?
Yeah, I saw the anomaly.
Okay, so
He wasn't dead yet. That's the only problem.
gotcha. So even if he's not dead yet, you can still go there because the dome is going to spawn to like right where the anomaly is when it's dead. And if you're skulled, you can actually go and help kill the anomaly. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because the other two people are going to be chilling at the boss for the green circle anyway. All right, so we're going to give another pull.
All right, let's go.
Thanks for the follow, one and only. How's it going? All right, here we go. All right, anomaly's up. Skull go to the dome. Green's coming to the boss. Nicely done. Nicely timed on that mechanic there. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. All right, we missed 2. That's okay. Yeah, man. Every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. This time. All right, we're going to split. But I'm finally back in the mood for like streaming, and I'm trying to get this regular now, so. Anomalies at south. And we're going to CC quick. Green is on boss. Let's get our CCs really, really quick. Nicely done. Nicely done. So yeah, with streaming regularly, I'm probably going to be streaming trainings on Tuesday every week. And I'm thinking maybe Sundays. So far, kind of liking that schedule. I'm going to take it one step at a time so I don't get overwhelmed. Alright. Skull can go to the dome. Get ready to Nova launch, guys. Now. Very nice. Very nice. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. Ooh, off. Sometimes that does happen, even if we Nova launch correctly. So we actually Nova launched right. Turn away. Except it did glitch. Oh, wait. These actually don't hurt. These are just glitched. So these are fine. I don't know why that happens. All right, anomaly's up. So follow the AoEs when he does this attack. Basically, the way that he places them is the order that they're going to detonate. So if you follow and get right next to the one that detonates first, then you can just go ahead and split. you can step onto the one that detonates. Like step on the spot that it detonated, or the first one detonated from, and then you'll be safe for the rest of that mechanic. All right, gonna go ahead and hit that in. There we go. Back to the boss. And we're gonna CC. Nicely done, guys. Very nicely done. Ignore that anomaly. All right. So he's gonna CC now, so dodge. Get out of the laser. All right, Nova launch onto the boss. Nice. So just a hair late, but that's okay because he died. All right, so we got anomalies up. This is where it gets tough. Green is on boss. Get ready to Nova launch, guys. Nova launch now. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done.
Look away.
Yes, good call. Good call. All right, I'm going to pull in Plink. So we can try and cleave him down. Don't worry about going out of your way to cleave him, though. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. And then we're going to go to a side now. There we go. I'll get this far side right here. All right. So you're actually good, Gloom. I ended up getting a hit yours in. There we go. Looks like we are all set. Nicely done. Okay, CC. And get the anomaly. Green is on boss. A little bit more CC. Very good. Anomaly's almost dead. Ooh, very nice. All right. Quick DPS, guys. This is a very good spot to be in because the panels are not going to disappear for about 10 more seconds. So let's get as much DPS in as we can. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. Nicely done, guys. Turn away from the boss and the lasers.
Res.
Yes, good call. Good call. All right, jump. You can jump these shockwaves as well. Get ready to Nova launch. Now. Anomaly's up. Ignore the anomaly, just DPS.
DPS.
Very nice. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. And so that was your first time Crow and Genesis?
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So now we can move on to 99 CM.
Congrats, guys. Very clean.